And she couldn't dance.
We were just talking about me finding my voice.
When did you find your dance moves? That's what I want to know. Because now all she does is dance.
It has progressed, please.
I think her basketball was much quicker advancing than her dancing. But I never thought her dancing would get off to a place where she would make it public. Because before, it could not be public. It wasn't even PG. It was BPG, before PG. Like, only toddlers could appreciate her dancing.
Why would you say that?
Oh, my bad.
What's up, everyone? And welcome back to another episode of Post Moves. I'm Candace Parker here with my co-host. Some people call her AB. Some people call her Big Guard. We on the Post Moves show would like for you to stick to just being a post player. But Aliyah Boston.
Hey guys, we are back. Don't forget our reviews, please. 5 stars only, okay? Because that's what we do over here.
Yes, but first we got to tell them, follow us on Post Moves Show on all socials. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It doesn't matter. Anywhere. You got this.
Yeah, but they come out on Wednesdays. We've got a fun episode today, to say the least. Staley is joining us. She tells a couple really amazing Aliyah Boston stories. So just... prelude to that. But before we get to that,
where are you, Candace? We should start there.
So I'm at the Four Seasons in Chicago, the best city in the summer ever. I love this hotel. I love this city. And I try to make it out here every summer. So I'm looking at the Willis Tower right now, which used to be the Sears Tower. It's just the best skyline ever in Chicago.
I love that we're talking about the skyline and not the fact that you're getting your jersey retired today. I love that we're talking about the hotel and we're just like, yeah, I'm just hanging out. Like, I love being in Chicago, but we're not talking about why. Like, congratulations.
First, thank you. I think I'm most excited about, I grew up here. And so to be able to see a bunch of familiar faces where I first picked up the game of basketball is surreal. It's chaotic because I have the whole crew with me. So my daughter, my son, 3.5, and my 1-year-old. So the flight here was like, did we really need to bring them? Like, parents on the plane. Anya was trying to hand out snacks to all the people in the aisles to apologize for our rambunctious boys. But I was like, nah. Nah. Sorry, the Parker boys are coming through. So yeah, we're in Chicago. Really excited. But yeah, it's time for what we want to talk about. I'm going to transition to the next.
Okay.
Because
you just want to move on over it.
Deflect. Fever recap. The Fever fell to the Minnesota Lynx, 97-84, while on the road Sunday night. AB, you put up a stellar stat line, as we've seen time and time again this year. 14.7 rebounds, 5 assists.
See, big guard.
Yeah, in fact, you lead all centers this season in games with 5+ assists.
Oh, shout out my teammates. Look at them.
Shout out your teammates. Shout out the ball, the dribble handoff. You've been killing. You and Kelsey Mitchell kill with that. But yeah, speaking of Kelsey Mitchell, led Indiana with 26 points. Napheesa Collier in her debut back from her ankle injury scored 32 points. Unfortunately, this is the 6th loss in the past 8 games, and it puts you all at 19-18 on the season and in 8th place on the fringe of playoffs. 7 games left. What's your mindset? Take us into what's going on in between your ears.
Honestly, it's really just about staying bought in, staying together. I feel like that's always been our thing this entire season, staying together, being a close-knit group. I mean, these 2 games to Minnesota, we were just so close. And I feel like there's nothing worse than just a close loss. There's nothing worse than that because you knew that little changes here and there, you could have had that game. And so for us, it's just next game up. We can't worry too much about games down the line. We just have to worry about playing Seattle. And then we head on the road back to the West Coast with LA and the Valks and Phoenix. So we have a good stretch ahead of us, but it's just about continuing to show up.
Man, I needed teammates like you in the locker room because after a tough stretch, it doesn't matter who you are as a professional athlete. You start to be in that little lull a little bit. and trying to figure out how to dig yourself out of the hole. And basketball is so much about momentum, so much about confidence, and it's about feeling good going into the playoffs. But it's also about getting your teammates right, and playing a specific style of play. And to be honest with you, it's been really hard for you all, just watching as a fan, to play that particular style of play because you have had injuries all season. And I know we're in a no excuses league. We're in a results league. But Sophie Cunningham officially out for the season with MCL. You got Harry McDonald earlier, Sydney Colson. Caitlin Clark is day to day. We're unsure about when she's going to come back from her groin injury. It just seems like, especially at the guard position, and we all know how important it is to have a point guard run your offense and be confident and steady. And going into playoffs, you understand how important it is to have that quarterback at the start of your offense, that coach on the floor. What are those conversations like?
Yeah, honestly, we brought in Odyssey and Shea Petty, and then we just signed Aerial Powers. And so for us, I mean, we just try to figure out different ways. I think sometimes, they do a great job just getting us into our offense, but I think we just continue to try and find different ways to manipulate it a little bit on the offensive end, make defense have to guard a little bit different, and just try to give ourselves some easier looks. But at the end of the day, like, every time we step out on that court, like, we just have to hoop. Like, it doesn't matter if it's pretty, it doesn't matter, it's not gonna be perfect, but we just have to go out there, play for each other, and just simply hoop. Do what you do, get a bucket, get a stop, and just push the pace.
Well, you mentioned guards. Shea Petty signed to a 7-day hardship contract. They actually had to wait for Sophie to sit out a game to be
Yep.
able to
That rule is
have
so
that
crazy.
hardship rule, which is crazy. She actually had 16 points, Shea Petty, last night against the Lynx. She looked good. She's a consummate vet, honestly, 6 years in the league, played for Phoenix for so many years, knows what it takes. So I think that was a great signing. Aerial Powers, another 7-day hardship contract, 9 years in the WNBA. She most recently played for the Valkyries, but Powers is the 17th player. Yeah, 17th player to wear the Fever uniform this season. And no, the WNBA did not change the rules about roster sizes. This is actually the case. 17th player on an 11 woman roster, which is insane. And I think it goes back to the cry of like, expand the roster. Because if you have someone that is the next man up with all of these injuries, at least they're familiar with their offense.
Yeah, with the offense, and you're not trying to work through in the middle of the season, end of the season type of thing. So, but honestly, everyone that we've signed, no matter how late we've signed them, have honestly just came in and just been ready and focused on what we do and just try to adjust the best they can. And honestly, I think everyone's just been doing a pretty great job.
Like I said, I would have loved to play with you. You're so positive. No, for real, I would have loved to play with you because I think you need that on your squad. You need that in your locker room, and you're going to win a lot of games because of that. Speaking of teams that have won a lot of games, the Aces are streaking right now.
Yep.
With their win over the Mystics on Saturday, the Aces extended their win streak to 10 straight games. They were sitting on the brink of playoff contention 10 games ago. And now they have the longest single season winning streak since the franchise moved to Vegas, the longest win streak in the WNBA this season, and the longest win streak in the WNBA since 2021. It's incredible.
They're
hooping 24-14, third in the standings. Pretty close. You look at the standings right now, there aren't a lot of games. I mean, it's just a half game between the second seed.
Yep.
They play a big one against Atlanta this week as well, which Atlanta and them are kind of jockeying for position. They're 16-6 since acquiring Nalissa Smith. Asia Wilson now has her 10th 30-point game. Hey,
that's
listen,
insane. That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
Listen, WNBA, if Asia scores 30, they win. Good luck.
That's
I'm sure the game
really
plan
insane.
is to stop Asia, but it has not been
she's been
successful.
Going off 30 points.
I mean, she's closing the gap, I feel like. I know AT and Nafisa are big. Nafisa's been a little bit quieter as of late because of her injury. AT's still putting up monster triple-doubles, but MVP race getting a little interesting.
It's going to be interesting. I can't wait. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, everyone's just putting up numbers. Like, I feel like you see it. Like, star players just doing what star players does, and that's putting up numbers and helping their team. And I think when you look at the aces on their streak, like Asia's putting up crazy numbers, efficient numbers, rebounding, like doing everything for them.
And what's crazy is sometimes everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And then sometimes people wake up when you get punched in the face. And Las Vegas got punched in the face August 2nd. They played the Lynx. They lost by 53 points, the second largest defeat in league history. And guess what? They haven't lost since.
They came back. They knew.
Everybody has a plan. And then Vegas Aces are like, all right, we're hitting all cylinders. History in the WNBA.
Paige Bueckers.
Miss Paige Bueckers.
Paige Bueckers.
Dropped 44 versus the Sparks. I was getting alerts, text messages. Are you watching this game? The most efficient 40-piece, 80% field goal. It's just incredible to watch her. It's incredible to watch her.
And I think when you look at Paige's game, it's just overall just a smooth game. Like, she takes her time. She's patient. Whether she wants to post the little turnaround jumper, she gets to her mid-range. I mean, she finds her teammates. I think that's what makes it so hard, is that she's so poised and she doesn't get sped up.
And you hit it on the head, honestly. I think in a league that is so dominated by layups and three-pointers, and this is what Paige talked about in one of her press conferences, that teams are willing to give up mid-ranges. And we've seen how dominant the mid-range game can be in the NBA now, that everybody shoots threes. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't shoot that many threes, and he was the league MVP this year. There's still value in that midi. And Paige Bueckers got a pretty mid-range game. So,
she's smooth. She's
bright
smooth.
future. Bright future.
After we won the national championship in 2022, I saw you, Candace, in the crowd, and I just grabbed the mic and said it. I love you, girl.
And I felt that because I saw myself in you, the joy, the pressure, the entire journey.
You've always been someone that I've looked up to, and hearing you say, you got this, that meant more to me than you probably even know.
That's what Adidas is all about. The You Got This campaign is a reminder that support, even one moment, one voice, can change everything.
Whether it's a coach, a teammate, a friend, sometimes it just takes someone reminding you who you are.
We've both had those people, and now we're trying to be that for someone else.
Learn more about the You Got This message at adidas.com/yougotthis and follow along at Adidas and at Adidas U.S. This episode is brought to you by Smucker's Uncrustables. There's a reason classics don't go out of style. PB&J, no crust, no mess, no notes. Check out Uncrustables, the best part of the sandwich.
It's a round, crimped sandwich made with soft, pillowy bread filled with peanut butter and jelly. Grab one from the freezer. Let it thaw while you do your thing on the court, in the carpool, or whatever hustle you're on. This snack is for pro goats, little legends, and everyone in between. Find Smucker's Uncrustables in the freezer aisle. Learn more at Uncrustables.com. It's that time of year again for many children across the country. School is back in session and school buses are on the road. This is a simple reminder for all drivers. You must slow down and prepare to stop when approaching a school bus from the front or behind when it's displaying flashing yellow lights. Those lights mean that the bus is getting ready to stop for students. Every state has a law that makes it illegal to pass a school bus with its red lights flashing and stop arm extended when it is stopped to load or unload students. Not stopping for a school bus or trying to beat the stop arm puts lives at risk and can result in large fines, points on your license, and even license suspension. If you're driving, especially in school zones or where children may be traveling to or from the school bus, slow down and stay alert. Paid for by NHTSA.
Well, Candace, I don't know about you, but I'm excited to hear from my girl. And I think it's time to bring on our guest. She's a 6-time WNBA All-Star, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, 4-time National Coach of the Year. My favorite girl, Coach Staley. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, Aliyah.
Welcome to Post Moves. How you feeling?
I feel big. I feel like a post.
A big guard. Exactly. Only big guards. Big guards only.
Big guards only. That's me. That's me. That's why I have to get like 5 assists, because that's the only reason I can qualify.
Is that it? 5
Big guard.
assists?
Here you okay, we
Listen,
literally
we gotta
just
start
started.
small, okay? She got the dribble handoff, backdoor pass.
We're
Now
literally
she's feeling herself.
like,
So,
come and I'll hit
yeah.
Kelsey every time. We're so glad to have you on, though. We're so glad. Early mornings.
Thank
You
you.
already walked, Champ? How you doing?
We walked already. Champ is actually beside me, just knocked out.
Wow, he's exhausted.
He
How
is,
long?
but if I said the word TREAT,
He's
then
up.
he's up. He's up big time. He probably raised his head right now because he can spell a little bit too.
Coach, I have a question. Your dog, does he mind? Like when you tell him to sit and like come and stay, will he do those things?
He better if he wants to be
Absolutely,
around
right?
me.
So you need to talk to Aliyah because she's a new dog owner, a new dog mom. And that's not the case. The dog has interrupted several podcasts, has messed up. I mean, just
Well,
always is
he's an
misbehaving.
he's an only
Ozzy, right?
child. And I think Ozzy, and I think sometimes he has only child syndrome. They're so dramatic, their breeds. So we're working on sit.
I mean,
Sit.
you had a dog since.
Not since.
Wait,
Don't do me like that. We literally don't do me like that.
you had a dog since. I remember us being.
It's been like 3 months, 4 months.
Oh,
He knows how
is
to sit. Now, does he listen? I don't know. But he knows.
that's a mom thing.
And that
That
is
really is a
where the
mom thing.
perfect transition is, actually, because it really does come down to the parents with how the kids, behave and act and things like that. And Aliyah happens to be that parent/player that you got to know very well at a young age. So I just need you to let us into the freshman Aliyah when she first arrived on campus. What was that experience like?
Super fun for her.
I mean, in the beginning, I would say the Aliyah that we recruited, the Aliyah that was so talkative and so inquisitive, and she got to South Carolina and she wouldn't say a word. Like nothing. Like nothing. And then I had to talk to her. I was like, well, why aren't you talking? Like, why aren't you? And she was actually deferring. She was deferring to upperclassmen. And I just never saw her as the type. Like, I see her as the type, right is right, wrong is wrong. Doesn't matter where the information's coming from as long as we get the information. So I wanted that Aliyah. And I think once we started having those conversations, she started just blossoming. Because she is super smart. Like, she probably came in as the smartest player, ever in the history of our program. Just smart. Just really understands how to play the game, but also play the game. Like, she on and off the court, she could play the game. Like, she is one that is always going to get what she wants because she knows how to play the game. And that's she's got an old soul. And I would have to give her mom the credit, but also her dad. Now, her dad is sneaky. He's the one that is chill, but he's got a powerful mind. They work just as a family, so cohesively that if you didn't give the dad, he doesn't want attention, but he surely wants to know that he matters, but not a lot of attention. So I think it was cool. Great family.
Dang. You know us for real. How do you know that? How do you know that? But seriously, I remember when I forgot, it was definitely freshman year. I don't know when we talked. It was like after a practice or something. You were just talking about you need to speak up. You need to use your voice. You need to do all that. And I remember coming back and I was talking to my mom and I was like, Mom, Coach said that. I just don't understand what she wants me to do. There's just people are older than me. I don't know what I'm supposed to say, what I'm supposed to do. And my mom's like, yes, you do. You know exactly what you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to do. And I was like, okay. And I feel like actually from that moment, whenever it was, I think it was actually after we did captains and stuff that first year. And it was like, okay, you can find it. You can find it. And then after that, it was kind of vibes were high. Now I'm making TikToks, right?
Right. and she couldn't dance. She couldn't dance. She
Are you
couldn't
serious?
dance.
We were just talking about me finding my voice, and
But
now
I was just, TikTok. We
when did you
transitioned to
find your
TikTok.
dance moves?
What?
That's what I want to know. Because
It
now all she
progressed.
does is dance.
It has progressed, please. Coach
So you
Staley.
found your dance moves in the WNBA, or was it in college still?
It was in college. I really sophomore year. I was peaking. Junior year, you can't tell me anything. Senior year, I run the app, and now it's you just go
The-
off vibes.
It's unbelievable the transformation of the from when she couldn't dance to dance. It was actually, I think her basketball was much better, much quicker advancing than her dancing. But I never thought her dancing would get off to a place where she would make it public. Because before it could not be public. It wasn't even PG. It was BPG, before PG. Like only toddlers could appreciate her dancing.
Why would you say that?
Oh, my bad. Did my
Why
bubble talk? Did my
Why
bubble
would you
just talk?
say that? I just couldn't. I could only do one move at a time, and then the music, it was just too fast, and then they want to add footwork, and it didn't really work that way.
I don't understand. She's an islander. I actually, there was one TikTok post that I saw you, and I was like, this is the islander that I never have seen. You would gyrate, and I was like, I've never seen her.
It was the one with Sid and Steph, and it was what, and the what, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was impressive because
Hips
that was the
lie.
first time. Yes. Yes, you got good teammates.
As much as everyone knows you all for dancing, I think they know you a little bit more about them for basketball. And I really want to know, Don, watching that 96 documentary of the first, the Olympic team and kind of going into the WNBA and seeing the stories behind the curtain of you all. I mean, obviously, Donna, you're an early pioneer. You first played in the ABL for the Richmond Rage, and then you later on played for the Sting and the Comets. I mean, I became a fan during 96 watching you in the Olympics and then the inaugural season in the WNBA in 97. What can you say now, a 3-time champion in college, being one of 5 head coaches with at least 3 women's national basketball, championships? I mean, honestly, looking back at your early days, take us on that journey. Tell us what the mindset was of players, because everybody looks at where women's basketball is now, but it was built by y'all then.
And I would actually go back even a little bit further, because I think it became popular after the 96 Olympic Games where, women, it was the women's Olympic Games where soccer, softball, all of the women's sports did so well. But for us in basketball, I don't know whose idea it was to keep us together for 1 year prior to the Olympic Games in Atlanta. But it was genius. I don't know if it was David Stern. I don't know Renee Brown. I don't know who it was, but it was genius because, one, we needed to win because we lost in 92. So I think everything was predicated on us having to win in our home country. And the documentary was on point. We worked extremely hard. I think we probably worked too hard. But it is how Tara had to do it to make her feel good, to have sacrificed an entire year from her Stanford team to us, to her feeling the pressure of having to win. And then in the middle of that, 2 professional leagues were birthed from us training in that setting. So we felt the pressure of having the state of women's basketball on our shoulders, so we couldn't fail. It was a place where we couldn't fail. So we applied the pressure on ourselves. We practiced hard. We 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 built this sisterhood that is still strong to this day, and it was well worth it. Now that we see how women's basketball is received and the demand that we're currently in, and it was well worth us going through what we went through to get us to this place.
And what would you say, because I think your basketball career was built on the grind, right? Being together for a year, I think a lot of us just kind of skip past that to be working at something for a year. The Olympics now, you show up, you do a couple training camps, you do a couple days before you go to the Olympics, do a couple, what do they call it, friendly games, and then you play
Yeah.
the Olympics, and then you're back in your WNBA season to be together for an entire year. But everybody looks at the success in your coaching career at South Carolina. I remember the days back when you recruited Candace Dupree, and she was your first big recruit. And I remember seeing you on the road when I'd be in AAU, times. And then when you got your opportunity to go to South Carolina, I remember playing at South Carolina at Tennessee when there were 0 people our game was probably the biggest game when we would go play somewhere, and there would still only be a few fans in the stands. And to see now South Carolina selling out and leading the nation in attendance, your career as a coach has kind of mirrored that as a player. What does that say about your personality, your growth, and your ability to kind of just continue to grind?
Well, I mean, I love basketball. Like I truly like it's my passion. It's the very thing I never cheat on. Like it guides me. It makes me make good decisions. Like because I don't want the impact of ever discrediting the game, like or my family. Like it's all tied into that. I think it's I only want us to win. Like I only want women's basketball and women basketball players to win. So my mindset is always basically what is best for the game. And I would say this, even to our to my detriment, to South Carolina's detriment, I really do look out for the game. Like I can remember, this one probably is gonna hurt Aliyah, and it hurt us at the time, but Kentucky beat us in a tournament in the
Oh,
SEC
I want to
tournament,
talk about that so bad. I want to talk about that so bad because you didn't have
right?
to come out what you did after that. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. And I'm thinking about Kyra, and I'm thinking about Kentucky, and I'm thinking about women's basketball. Like it was a great damn game. Like, but it was at our expense that it was a great game that we lost, that we were up double digits in the fourth quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter, we lose the game. And I saw the social media posts that NBA players were watching the game and they were locked in, and we lost. And I hate losing. Like, and it's hard to win championships. It's hard to win SEC tournament championships. And we were the favorites and all of that. I sit back and I was like, damn, that was us when we won our first one. That was good for the game, even though I didn't like it. So I've always been what's good for the game. I do feel like here at South Carolina, I mean, people really care about how you make them feel. And if you can make them feel good, they're going to make you feel better. Like it's just I don't know if it's the Southern comfort way, but we treat people good, and they in turn treat us better. And they treat us better by constantly filling our arenas. They go on the road too. Like they can't wait for the schedule. They like, when is the schedule coming? I gotta put my time in. I gotta put my time off in. I got a budget. Like it's, that I'm endeared to that. I'm endeared to the people here in South Carolina because it really is, it's not a movement. It's a lifestyle for them. And I want to make it as easy as possible for them to have access to us and to enjoy, like feeling like they are a part of us. That's why we give them the nickname of our fams instead of fans. They're like family to us.
But I want to go back to that Kentucky game. Let me just tell you the type of coach that Coach Staley is, okay? So she's always straight up. That's the first thing about Coach Staley. She's not about to play around. She's not like we mean business. And another thing that I love is that when Coach Staley has to say something, she'll say it in front of everyone so that everyone's on the same page and no one's missing a beat. So after that Kentucky game, everyone is pissed. They are mad. We come back and Coach Staley, like we usually watch film, so everybody's sitting down and Coach Staley just stands up like there's nothing on the screen. There's nothing on the screen. And she just is like, I just can't believe this, right? She's mad. And she just starts going off one by one of what of what we did wrong in that game. And when I tell you she started with me and went in on every single thing, there was one time I shot a shot, just needed to get it up. I still remember to this day. And she was like, "What kind of shot would you take?" Girl, I was trying to give us a second chance at the rebound. She wasn't even hearing me. But I still remember that moment because one, I couldn't believe how much she went in on us. Like and then our practice going into March Madness was insane. I remember after one practice, we couldn't do anything right. The starting group, every mistake we made, get off the court, like next group, come on. Like we couldn't do nothing right. And I remember after that, I was like, Coach Fred, I was like, I'm like in the back. I'm about to like break down. I'm like, why is she doing this to us right now? I'm like, we're trying. And she just kept going. And then we won the Natty that year.
We
But
sure did.
Say it for the people in the back.
It was just crazy because it was really pressure. Like she was not playing around. There was nothing to joke about anymore. Nothing was funny. Nothing was funny.
But I thought the loss was a win for us. When we lost that game,
it was like the wake up. Like
it was a wake up call for us, and we won because of the loss. Because if we would have won the tournament championship, it just we had a great group. Like we had a great team. They worked hard. Like they didn't cut corners, except that game. But they were a great group, and they just needed another a different type of edge created. It's self-inflicted, but it created an edge that we needed to go into postseason play. And I do credit that loss for us winning. And I would trade SEC tournament championships for national championships any day.
Yeah,
100%. That is a great trade-off. I mean, listen, Coach Staley, personally, I love hearing Pat stories. That's like my favorite thing in the world. And a lot of what you just said reminds me in 2007, we lost in the SEC championship by 20 to LSU. Actually, it was the semifinals. We didn't even get to the finals. It was the semis. We lost to LSU, Sylvia Fowles. They dominated us. We went back and, spring break, there's no rules for timing on practice. So we had 2-a-days and we ran, and it was a similar type of lesson where everything was Parker, everything was Hornbuckle, everything was our fault. And we won the championship that year. And so I do think that as much as practice sucks, I think we'd run any amount of line drills if it promised us a new mindset going into the NCAA tournament. And watching you all bounce back after 2021, that's the thing I've been most impressed about. I think it's the bounce back, right, for anybody, whether it's the player, whether it's the coach knowing what the players need. Coach Staley, what about Aliyah after that devastating loss in 2021 allowed you to coach her up so that she'd be ready for the next moment? Because in 2022, I could not tell you how proud I was of what you all were able to accomplish.
Aliyah, wasn't that also the year with UConn, the tip-in? The same, right? Right? Like we were at UConn. I think it was during the blizzard. Wasn't it the blizzard?
Yeah. Yeah, and I because it was like close to the end. It was like the game went into overtime, but I had a chance to tip the ball and I missed it.
And then the same thing happened, in the Final Four. And I know Aliyah. Oh my God, I know Aliyah. She is so devastated, like to the point of no return. And then you give her space. You really give her space because she's beating herself up. Like she probably beat herself up the whole summer. But before it got to the summer, I'm just like, you've had too many, basketball's been too good to you. You have too many instances where that is just a bleep on the radar. And if you stay in this space, you're not setting yourself up for the come up. But I understand, like I really understand how devastating it feels, but I mean, there's not another person that you want with the ball in their hands in that situation. And it wasn't even that we put the ball in her hands. She got a rebound. She went and got a rebound. It wasn't like she even got the last shot as far as we set you up. She had such a knack for the game that it it would only be her to put us in a position to actually win the game. So I'm taking Aliyah every single time, like every single time, because she's a winner. And then what does she do? She went and trained with Tim Duncan. And
Oh, of
then
course, the island connection. Okay.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and you're at that point, you're at a crossroad in your career. You have a devastating loss like that. You know, you consider yourself the reason why we lost. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But you do something about it that's going to help you. Like she lost, I don't know, 18, 19 pounds, came back slim, right? And just put us on her back and willed us to a championship. Like there wasn't going to be any denying us the championship. I don't care who we played against. You could have put a, you know, a stacked team together, whatever. We were going to win the national championship in 22. And we were going to do it because of Aliyah's sacrifice. Like she sacrificed a lot. And it's not often that you see great players get better. Like I'm always amazed at great players getting better when the room for them to get better is not very much, but you see it. She's that like she's in her third season. I mean, she's a rebounder, she's a scorer when she gets the ball.
Yeah.
Um but now she's added the element of passing. Like it's like she gets better every single year. And I really don't think she gets the credit for her growth. Now, I would say, people are giving the most improved to Nas Hillman. And I can understand that. But Aliyah's got to be in the conversation, right? Got to be in the conversation. Aliyah's got to be in the conversation, as MVP. But the losing part of it, the y'all losing too many games. And
Thanks,
Kelsey
babe.
Mitchell, like y'all, like seriously, y'all
Yeah.
got incredible talent on your team, and it just so happens that the injury bug hits y'all so hard that it shouldn't, but it's discounting what you're doing individually. And it shouldn't. It should be in conversation. Not just on a telecast. I'm talking when when they put together I don't know what it's called, all WNBA, when they talk about what's happening in the league, it has to come up. I think we have a tendency to just make one person this and make one person that, and it's the favorite. And you got to let this thing play out. You got to let it play out, and you got to see what's happening over the course of an entire season. But Aliyah needs to be in a lot of more conversations.
Thanks, girl.
Mhm.
That was so sweet. That was so sweet. Okay, back to where I started before I got distracted on Kentucky because I just couldn't let that go. Uncommon Favor Coach. Like reading that book it was honestly so amazing. Like I think just thinking about your life and the stories that you've been able to share and your experiences, like I think it's so amazing for people to get to know you. Like they see you every day and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Coach Staley, like she's done this for the game." But really getting to know you, I think just makes it all better when you see you and you're like, "Dang. Like this woman is really goated and all around." Like what made right now the right time for this book?
People have been asking me to write a book for a long time, like probably 10, 20 years ago. Like I haven't lived, like really write a book. I haven't really lived. But I would say when we won the championship in 22, I went on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, and always a great conversation when I go on their show. And he asked me then, like, you should write a book, and he was probably asking me because he's got a publishing company, right? I mean, it was great. It was great timing. So I actually, I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then I eventually, because he was persistent, I gave him a soft yes that I would write a book. Now that's 3 years ago. Like it's after we won the championship in 2024, like undefeated in an undefeated way. I'm like,
Crazy.
life is great. Like this is too good for me to hold on to all these kind of great memories and all the things that really God has provided. Like my cup runneth over to the point where I had to release it and put it somewhere. And book form was the best way that I felt, and I actually did commit to it. So I wanted to see that commitment through. But it's scary writing a book. I know you know this, Candace, because you don't know how it's going to be received at all. Like you don't know if they're gonna like it. And it's you. It's like your story. So I just put my head down and got to it. And it was really an easy process because you're just talking about you and your experiences, but it so resonates with so many other people that are in sports and out of sports, and it's an inspiration piece. It's a piece that people can really like understand, and it's believable because it's true and it's genuine. It was written out of love and it's received with that same love.
And in that book, your motto, do what you want to do do what you don't want to do to get what you want. And it came from a house party. I mean, I have older brothers, so I watched a little house party back in my day. Leah has no idea, trust me, she has no idea what a house
None.
party is. How has that line guided your career?
I mean, it's really so simple. Like, do I want to do all the things that I have to do as a coach outside of basketball? Not really. Not really. I love basketball. Like if I could eat, drink, and think about basketball every second of the day, I'm in my happy place. But, you know, I'm more comfortable now doing those other things outside of it because it's love. Like the people here in South Carolina, it's nothing now for me to go talk to donors. It's nothing for me to go support a community event here. It's nothing. Like it's like second skin to do those things because I'm ingrained in the in the community. But I just finished my 17th year. But 15 years ago, 16 years ago, no, I didn't want to do those things. But now I see the effects of doing those things. So if there are any coaches that are tuned in here, like you think the product is the most important thing, and it is to a certain degree, but the product gets better when there are people in the stands. The product gets better when you have the support of the community. The product gets better when the donors believe in you and believe in your hard work. And in order for them to see that is you interact with them. You and here in the South, you can't just go to the grocery store and get a loaf of bread, right? You're gonna have to take selfies. You're gonna have to. They're gonna put a camera in front of your face. Can you say congratulations to my
You say hi to my
goddaughter?
granddaughter.
Like it's 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 a part of it, but it's a part of it that I love because I appreciate what they built. Because I ain't built. I built the product. I helped build the product on the floor, but never in my wildest dreams that I envisioned an arena full of people. Like that wasn't part of my game plan. My game plan was the product and solely the product. And the people here in South Carolina have made it like the epic center of women's basketball. And that's hard to do with so many people, so many great programs in the country, but we've done it the right way and people are noticing.
And it just seems like you always carry with you your past. And I say that in carrying people with you, supporting players that have played for you, and repping Philly. Let's just be honest. Everybody, if you don't know, you know Dawn Staley coaches at South Carolina. She played in the Olympics. You understand all that, but you also know she's from Philly. So what can you say about that Philly mentality? Because I think everybody has a way about them. You know, I played with Kalia Copper, and she's from Philly, and there's this dog in her that I just am in awe of. And I think it's only developed from growing up there. I'll give Philly a nod. Now I can't stand the Eagles, but I'll give Philly the
Oh,
nod.
come on now.
I'm a
Ooh,
Bears fan, and we haven't
the
won since I've been alive. So I'm a little bit of a hater on the Philadelphia
the
Eagles. But
world champion Eagles
oh goodness.
that's
Oh,
gonna go
see,
back
you
to
can't.
back. That's gonna
I think
that's
you
gonna
all
go.
Candace, you knew you were dead
you
wrong for.
actually might be prime. I'm serious. Jalen Hurts looks, and it's not even the way he plays football. It's like his mentality going into this year. He does look prime for a repeat. That's all I'm saying. But go Bears. But what can you say about Philly and where you come from and your upbringing that made you who you are?
I would say this. When you grow up in Philly and when you grow up in North Philly, Kai
But you
grew
got to
up
say it
in
right.
North.
It's North, right? North?
Yeah, North, no TH, North. So when you go up in North Philly though, it makes you strong. Like you're innately strong, right? And what you do with that strength, if you do with it stuff that can help you, you're gonna be great. If you do stuff with it that can help you, you're gonna be great at it too, but it ain't gonna help you, right? So for me, Philly gives you a certain level of there isn't anything that I can't do because of where I grew up. Because it's hard. Like it's hard growing up in Philly. So we think growing up in Philly is the hardest. So anything less than that can be achieved and you can be successful. So it's like there isn't anything that we can't do if we put our minds to it. It really is a mindset and mentality. If we want to accomplish this, then it's going to get checked off. How we go about doing it, it could vary. Like we could do it the Philly way, which sometimes you got to bust through some stuff, or you could do it, probably. Let me see what part of the city that I can pick on. If you're from like Mount Airy, you probably do it
Man, you're
the
calling people out. Listen,
Like
I'm from the
she's
burbs
starting,
of
she's like,
Chicagoland, so
she's
I
like,
fit into that category of Naperville. But still, I graduated on the court from the city. So
right.
come on now, chill
So
out.
you
Chill
understand
out.
where I'm going with it, right? You
Chill out.
understand?
Chill out. But Coach, before Aliyah gets us into the unfiltered fan questions, I just have one thing. So I know South Carolina has been great. You're going to be there as long as you want to be there. But there is a WNBA team headed to Philly. So could we possibly, would you ever consider coaching in the WNBA?
No. No, I don't want to coach in the WNBA. I could have coached in the WNBA a long time ago. That really isn't my passion. Like my true passion is young people, like preparing young people for the WNBA because I want the WNBA to be around for a long time. So if we could keep feeding the WNBA Aliyah Bostons, we're gonna be in a great place. We're gonna be in a great place. And I want ownership. Like I want ownership. I want to own. I don't want to be a coach. Coach is just a part of the process. I want to be in the room helping to make decisions on how you put a product on the floor, how you get into the community, how you get people in the stands. That's the sweat equity that I want, but I want that as an owner. So
Would
Philly,
you ever consider, I'm sorry, Aliyah. I just have to
I
ask
knew
this
you were going to
follow-up.
do it.
I
I
have
knew
to
you were
ask
going to
this
do it.
follow-up
I knew you were
question.
going to ask. Go ahead.
So would you ever seriously take an NBA job?
would I seriously like I interviewed for the Knicks. I did. It was the same interview that everybody else that was in their candidate pool. Same thing. Went in. I mean, it was like hours, but in the interview, I thought I did pretty well. I was well prepared for the interview, right? If the Knicks would have offered me the job, I would have had to do it. Okay. Not just for me, it's for women, for just to break open that I would have to, and it's the New York Knicks. And I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks. And I did say that in the interview. Like, I actually said it. Y'all don't have to
I
censor
mean,
it
you could
out, but I
say it.
actually
We
said
got
it.
creative control over here. We
Right.
can bleep you out.
But I did. I was like, it's freaking New York Knicks. Like, yes. Would I take any NBA job? No. But I will say this. The NBA has to be ready for a female head coach. You can't just interview somebody and say we're gonna hire her. Because here's the thing, because I think I probably lost the job by asking this question, or I had a series of questions that I asked them. One was for who they were looking for why I was in the candidate pool, right? If I was so attractive I said, has the New York Knicks organization in its history ever had what you're looking for? They wanted a team. They wanted the inclusiveness with management and the coaches, and everyone wanted to feel like a team, a closely knit franchise. And the answer was really no. But if you don't hire anybody different, how are you going to get that? That's one. And then my other question was, how, if you hired me as the first female coach in the WNBA, how would it impact your daily job? Because it would. It would. Because you're going to be asked questions that you don't have to be asked if you hire a male coach. There's going to be the media. There's going to be all this stuff that you're going to have to deal with that you didn't have to deal with and you don't have to deal with when you hire a male. And then that got them to thinking. That really got them to thinking about, shit, maybe she's right. Right. And then I felt the energy change after that. So I shot myself in the foot by being Aliyah, being inquisitive, asking all those darn questions.
That's okay. I'll always ask a question. You know me. You know me. Coach, before we let you go, we just have to ask you some unfiltered fan questions powered
Okay.
by Uncrustables. Find Smucker's Uncrustables in the freezer aisle. Learn more at uncrustables.com. So the first question we have for
Okay,
you.
And she
sponsorship.
reads good. Look
You
at South
know,
Carolina
you know that
education.
I
Okay,
am reading now,
education.
okay? I'm a bookworm now, okay?
Look
So
at
what
you.
would you say is your favorite true crime show, book, podcast overall? I know you're a true crime girl. Look
Are
at
you a
you.
crime junkie? Do you
Look
listen to
at
Crime
you. Look,
Junkie?
she's
Yeah, I'm a crime
twisting.
junkie too.
She's
I mean, I fall asleep to Forensic Files.
You fall
Right?
asleep.
She's
Okay.
crazy.
Yes. And then I've actually attended like a double homicide case here in Columbia. I would love to do more of those, like in the courtroom, just a fly on the wall. My favorite though, I love Dateline. I've been watching Dateline for 30 years. Like Dateline is probably my favorite. I like it. I like it all. Like I don't discriminate. I really don't. But I will say this: if you go live in the courtroom, like the intensity is thick. It was stimulating to me. It was like, oh my God, I can't get enough of this. And then, you hear the verdict and you see the reaction of the family, you see the reaction of the defendant, you see the judge just kind of, explain the law and why it was had to be this way. I mean, it's the anticipation of the verdict. Like, and then I was talking to the bailiffs and I was actually sitting outside of the deliberating room where the jurors were deliberating.
Like, how'd she get up?
Man,
So
that's
I was
access.
like,
That ain't a
I
fly
was
on the
like,
wall. Come on now. I'm Dawn
She's
Staley. I got
damn
3
near
national
giving the
championships. I'm about to listen to the deliberation.
I was air hustling because they were talking loud. They were like, I was just trying to, it was so much stimulation. So I don't know if I answered your question. I don't know if I was quick enough, but child, you got me. You got me
So
going.
in another life, would you have been some sort of like investigator or would that be or a defense attorney?
Look at it. She just wants to listen to it.
No, I that's an escape for me. Like I want to just escape from my life. Like I can get into something that's really interesting to me that holds my attention. And I do think this. Like I do think, especially cases. Cases are full of like team of people who are, it's like a basketball game. You're trying to outfox them. You're trying to bring in new evidence, new moves, like crossover. You're trying to bring counters to everything that's happening, with the prosecutors and the defense teams. Like they work as a cohesive unit. They're pitted against each other. And I just like the whole dynamic of seeing all of that come about. And there's somebody that's going to be a winner and somebody's going to be a loser.
All right. Most memorable moment from your career as a player or a coach? I mean, Aliyah's sitting here, so make sure that you include.
I mean, there's
she
only
leaned forward. She leaned forward when you said that.
Aliyah. That 2024 team surprised
I
me.
know. Whatever.
Like,
Yay. Undefeated. Yay. Happy for y'all.
I mean, to go undefeated in this day and age.
Yeah, I know that was crazy.
And then we lose the freshies. We lose the best class in the history of our program. We lose them, and then we lose some top contributors. And then we come back with that team, and they went like it was the unlikeliest group. Like the
But that
like
2017 first championship, come on, coach. That first one,
Candace. Hey.
I'm
I
just
know, right?
saying, I'm not trying to like change your favorite because undefeated, that was unbelievable what y'all did.
Undefeated is
I was
crazy.
present.
Undefeated is
That
crazy.
first one,
That first one was kind of expected. Right?
I love
it was.
You know
That's-
she can.
I
You know
love
she's
this.
The second one was expected. Like, I knew we were going to win the 22. I knew we were going to win. After what we've been through, I didn't think we were going to win another one. But I'm going to tell you
Dawn's
this.
daycare was like, hold
Listen,
up, 2024.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
got
Dawn's
you.
daycare. They turned up. They turned up.
Hey, I got to give your mom a shout out, Aliyah. Miss Boston is a praying woman. If you want something done, you give it to Miss Boston. Seriously. I never thought I was going to coach another player like Aliyah. She was like, yes, you are. She was like, I'm praying on it. Yes, you are. Believe in it. Right? So now that we talk about Miss Boston, I know you're gonna watch this. Miss Boston, I need some heavy hitting recruits. Right? I need some heavy hitting recruits that a said person on this podcast has some influence. I need God to step in, and I need
All
your
I
prayers.
know is
Thank
3
you.
stripes. That's all I'm saying. 3 stripes got NIL, so that's all I'm saying. And Duncan, you know what I mean? We like our players to, hang on the rim a little bit. Just hint, wink. But
All right, coach. One more for you. What would be your Mount Rushmore of Philly athletes?
Oh God, that's only 4 though, right? 4. Dr. J.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
yes.
I'm putting Jalen on there. I don't care. Jalen Hurts. I'm putting him on there. I know he's young.
She riding a championship wave. She
I'm
gonna be throwing
riding.
popcorn at the TV this year
I'm riding.
mid-season. I was kidding.
I'm going with the AI.
Oh yeah.
Shoot.
I mean, you got to put yourself on there.
I know. Like, put your
No. And I'm probably gonna have to go with Michael J. Smith, Phillies, third baseman. I gotta give it up.
Wow.
Old school. I'm going old school.
Yeah, you went way back.
I did.
I love that though. Shout out to third base. Coach, seriously, this has been so much fun. We could talk to you for hours, but Aliyah has a job, so she's got to
And I got
get
a
to her
meeting.
job. And you got a meeting. And
The
I got
perfect timing.
kids. So
And you got
guys,
kids, so-
enjoy.
Thank you,
y'all,
coach.
though.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
coach, so much. I really appreciate you.
All right, y'all.
It's now time for You Got This, presented by Adidas. There's nothing like a great assist to help us remember you got this. Learn more about the You Got This message at adidas.com/you got this and follow the action on Instagram at Adidas and at Adidas US. Every week, we're going to shout out someone who showed up, rose to the occasion, or made their moment count, whether it's a player, a coach, or even something we saw online. If it inspired us, it's getting a shout out. This week, my You Got This moment goes to none other, Venus Williams.
Ooh.
Guess what? Venus is back at the U.S. Open to play a Grand Slam singles match for the first time in 2 years. Takes on 11th ranked Karolina Muchova on Monday night. This is going to be after we film this at Arthur Ashe Stadium, and this will be her 25th appearance in the U.S. Open, doing so at the tender young age of 45 years old. You weren't even born.
You're right. I probably wasn't even thought of.
You were not a thought. I can tell you that. Not a thought at all. Not even half. Like, you know how you're 23 and a half? It was still, that half
can't
doesn't
even
matter.
round up.
Nope, can't even round up. She won the U.S. Open in 2000 and won again in 2001. She and her sister have changed the game. And I think that it speaks to what type of athlete Venus Williams is, as well as her sister, Serena Williams. It speaks to going into spaces that people don't necessarily look like you. And now, because of you, more people are having the opportunity to play tennis. I don't know if there's a Coco Gauff or a Sloane Stephens without the Williams sisters. And to do so at this age, and, Venus has been, very honest about some of the reasons why she's continuing to play, and a lot of it has to do with healthcare, which is a bigger topic and a bigger discussion. And I just feel like the Williams sisters have broke so many barriers and opened up so many doors for all of us. And they're continuing to just amaze us with their skill set. I mean, there's a difference in playing tennis as an old person versus other old people.
Yeah. Versus playing against someone that's like...
Exactly. But when you start entering into playing tennis against younger people, then it becomes not an old man or old woman's game. And so it's just incredible. Goodness. So shout out to Venus Williams.
Shout out to Venus Williams.
I hope you get that dub. So, all right. That's my You Got This moment presented by Adidas. Aliyah,
that was great.
You're next up next week.
All right. And that's a wrap on this week's episode, Post Moves. Shout out to my girl, Coach Staley. First, we loved having you on. Thank you for sharing those stories, kind of telling people I'm a little crash out, but I hope everyone got to know a little bit more about you.
And your dance skills. Let's not forget your dancing. We need the evolution.
Did you hear how she said I improved?
Yeah, but we still need an evolution.
Whatever. And don't forget, new episodes drop every Wednesday. Subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And those reviews, 5 stars only.
Am I doing bow, bow, bow?
Yes.
This week?
Yes.
Bow, 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 bow.
Oh.
All right, post ups.
Bow.
That's what we're calling them. We're calling them post ups.
Post ups.
That's our crew that follows our show.